Welcome to Silent Terror, where real-life nightmares take shape. If you think you're safe, think again. Tonight's story will make you question something as simple as calling a ride home. But remember, the scariest part, it actually happened. Story: The Wrong Ride. It was a cold Friday night when Emily left her friend's apartment. The city streets were quiet, too quiet. She pulled out her phone and called a rideshare. The app said her driver was 3 minutes away. A black sedan, license plate 9F3. Something. She didn't bother checking twice. Headlights appeared at the curb, and a black car rolled to a stop. The tinted window slid down, and a man in a baseball cap gave her a small nod. "For Emily?" he asked. She hesitated. Something about him made her uneasy. But what was she going to do? Say no and wait alone in the dark? She forced a smile, got in, and pulled the door shut. The locks clicked automatically. At first, everything seemed normal. The man said nothing, just kept his eyes on the road. Emily stared at her phone, tracking the route. But then she noticed he wasn't following the app's directions. The car made a turn onto a dimly lit street. Her stomach tightened. I think we're going the wrong way," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. The man didn't respond. She glanced at her phone. No signal, no service. The city had disappeared behind them, and all she could see were trees lining a lonely stretch of road. The streets looked unfamiliar, and there were no other cars in sight. "Excuse me, where are we going?" she asked again, louder this time. Still nothing. Then she noticed it. The smell. A faint, sickly, sweet odor, like something rotting. And the car. It had no rideshare sticker, no GPS on the dashboard. Just an old radio playing static. Emily's blood ran cold. "Hey, let me out!" She grabbed the door handle and pulled. Locked. The man finally spoke, his voice low and emotionless. "We're almost there." Almost where? Panic surged through her. She fumbled for her pepper spray but couldn't find it. Her fingers trembled as she reached for the door again. Then she saw it. A piece of paper peeking from under the seat. A missing person's flyer. Her own face. Staring back at her. Her breath hitched. What? What is this? The man let out a slow chuckle. "You were so easy to find," she screamed. The car veered off the road, tires crunching on gravel. It came to a stop in front of an abandoned cabin, hidden deep in the woods. The headlights cut through the darkness, revealing a rusted metal door covered in deep scratch marks, like someone had tried to claw their way out. "Get out," the man ordered, unlocking the doors from his side. Emily's mind raced. She could make a run for it, but where? Trees surrounded them, thick and endless. There was no road back, no one around to hear her scream. She turned to the man, desperate. Please just let me go. I won't tell anyone." He smiled, but there was no warmth in it. That's what they all say. Then, in one swift motion, he lunged. She bolted, her feet barely touching the ground. The trees blurred past as she sprinted into the woods, branches tearing at her clothes. She could hear his footsteps behind her, heavy and determined. Then, silence. She stopped, heart pounding. Had she lost him? A rustling sound came from behind a tree. She turned slowly, breath caught in her throat. And then, a hand clamped over her mouth. The world went dark. The next morning, the real rideshare driver reported a no-show. Her friends called her phone, but it went straight to voicemail. The police tracked her last known location to the city, but beyond that, nothing. No car, no driver, no Emily. Just a single torn flyer, fluttering in the wind. Some stories end with answers. Others are warnings. Next time you call a ride, check the plate, check the driver. And always, always trust your gut, because the wrong ride might be your last. This has been Silent Terror. Sleep well, if you can.